Today we're going to talk about the 5 best towns to invest in Union County in New Jersey. Before I get started, would love if you guys could subscribe to the channel if you love the content we're pumping out. We give a lot of great content on helping out landlords, construction, real estate, all that good stuff. So make sure you do that, that's very important. Plus you get notifications of any new content we come out with, which we're constantly giving you new content, new value that you could use in your real estate journey. So the 5 towns that we're going to talk about today are based on our property management company's experience working in those towns, our realtors' experience doing transactions in those towns. So there's not only 5, obviously there's more than 5 that you could choose to invest in, but these are the 5 that I have found are pretty darn good. So number 1 on the list for me is going to be Elizabeth. And I hate to say Elizabeth and number 1 in the same sentence because I grew up in Union, and Union and Elizabeth were football rivals. They didn't like each other, so any of you watching that video who played football in those towns, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But nevertheless, Elizabeth is a great rental town. It's humongous for starters. There's a little bit of everything in Elizabeth. One of the huge attractions is there's constant development going on. The town seems to be very pro-growth, which is great for real estate investors. You also have direct access to New York City on the train line, which is awesome, another huge selling point. And obviously, this goes for all of Union County, but it's so close to New York City, it just makes it very desirable. So Elizabeth is a great rental town, a lot of multifamily in that town, and a lot of opportunities in that town for properties that are in need of renovation and rehab. Number 2 on my list, kind of sticking with the New York City train line, would be Linden. Linden is a very good town. Also has direct access on the Northeast Corridor line. There's a train line that runs really from Trenton all the way into New York City, and Linden's one of the stops. Linden does not have as a robust downtown that some of these other towns on the list might have, but it is a very good town with a lot of strong development as well. Number 3 on the list, this is kind of a recurring theme, would be Rahway. Again, very similar on the New York City train line. Direct access to the city, which is very important for people, which I'll explain in a minute. Rahway has also seen a lot of development over the last decade or so, especially around the train line. And we have seen that really all 3 of those towns, there's a strong desire from people to rent in those towns because again, you got access to New York City and the train line, which is great. Number 4 on the list, changing gears a little bit, would be Union. Union is a ever-evolving and changing town. I hesitate to even call it a town anymore because the population is humongous. It's the size of some other quote-unquote cities that are in New Jersey. So Union is a huge town. Now you've got access on the train, but it's not a direct line to New York City. You do have to stop and change in Newark, not the end of the world. You have Keene College in Union as well, which is fantastic. There's a ton of multifamily in Union. It's a red hot real estate market. It really always has been, and just a really great town if you're looking to buy multifamily. And then the last on the list that I would have, a little bit different than the other 4 I've previously mentioned, would be Westfield. Now Westfield is going to be it's going to be higher up on the ladder as far as income goes. A lot of well-off people live in Westfield. That's not to say that's the only type of person who lives there, but it's definitely got a different vibe. It's got an awesome downtown, really beautiful downtown, to be honest with you. It doesn't have much multifamily at all, truthfully. There's a couple pockets of multifamily, but we do get enough inquiries from people looking to rent in Westfield or wanting to rent in Westfield where we decide to put it on the list. So those 5 towns gives you really like a diversity of investing in Union County. Not the only towns to invest in. There are other towns, but like I've said in previous videos, not every town is pro-rental. And some of them we have managed in previously tough to get rental inspections passed and just not pleasant as a property management company. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, make sure hit that like button. Feel free to share this with anybody you think who would find it useful. And we'll continue to give you content like this, and see you next time.